I'm James Williams Jr., and this is part two of the whole Donald Trump clusterfuck, or the protest that happened this weekend, rather. So, as I said, apparently they had this protest this weekend about Donald Trump. And I mean, people have taken to the streets in the masses. And then also, last night I was watching this young man of color, he was a black guy, who was like all about Donald Trump. All about Donald Trump. And, I'm not going to judge this young man, because he was making some valid points about Donald Trump. And I respect his opinion. And so, but clearly he's not old enough to know anything about racial divide. He's not old enough to know anything about a lot of the crap that Donald Trump has been spewing out of his mouth. Or as the term you young people like to say, Donald Trump has had diarrhea of the mouth. And he has been spewing his nastiness all over the toilet that is the human race. He has said things about black people. And yet, stupid black people have turned around and voted for him. He has said things about women. And yet, stupid women have also turned around and voted for this guy who wants to grab a handful of pussy and have a good day. Alright? It was probably a lot funnier when Dave Chappelle said it. But, I will tell you this because I don't know Mr. Trump personally. But, anybody who wants to build a wall to keep us in and keep the enemies out clearly did not read the Chinese history book. Alright? And I know you guys are, especially my Asians that are following me, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But I'm telling you like it was told to me because it is the fucking truth. The Great Wall of China was built to keep the Mongolians out. Unless you want to go within the fairy tales of the Great Wall of China that was built to keep the bad dragons out. However, depending on which Chinese fairy tale you want to read or believe, in reality, it was to keep out the other Huns, who were the Mongolians, who were really badasses with bows and arrows and didn't have gunpowder or anything, but they knew how to kill people. It's what they did, right? No bullshit behind it. So Genghis Khan, who was also one of those people who had all these people work for centuries to build this wall. Then, when Japan came in, the Chinese had nowhere to go, which is why the occupation happened. Which is why a lot of things that went wrong in China had to do with this great landmark monument that was their greatest weakness and their greatest strength. It was the yin yang all the way through. No matter how you slice it, the yin yang of China is that great wall. And it weaves in like a dragon's tail. It weaves all the way around. I have never been there, but I've seen pictures. But the whole thing was that it was made to keep the bad guys out. But what you fail to understand in the concept of war, what is made to keep bad guys out also keeps you in if the bad guys flank you and decide, well, if we set troops on this side of this wall and come in from the water, you've got nowhere to go. And if we have nowhere to go, we have nowhere to escape, then we're fucked. And I'm not trying to be politically incorrect about it, but it's the truth. We are fucked. China got fucked by Japan. And when World War II came, Japan got fucked by everybody, especially their German allies. So, you kind of got to look at this thing from that point of view, Mr. Trump. If you building this wall to keep Mexicans and them out, are you going to throw out your wife and your son because technically they're part Mexican, or at least your son's part Mexican? He only has American citizenship because you are an American. So, what were you thinking with that wall comment? And then you want to build a wall to keep us out. I think on one hand, if you're not weighing the pros and cons of that, you probably don't want to get into this office. But you know what? Hey, I've got nothing really more I can say about this. I will say that I was one of the first people on the videos to point out that this guy who's a millionaire or a billionaire or however much money he has, which is way more than what I have, has gone bankrupt 4 times. I watched a guy on Facebook last night who talked about Melania Trump being naked. So, hell yeah, I'm going to go find that. And secondly, that Donald has had more than enough money that his hairpiece should actually look better than it does. So maybe it is actually his hair. I don't know, and I don't care because I just like my own hair. I don't give a damn about nobody else's hair or anything else. You know, it is what it is. But I will say this: if you're going to run this country and you're going to run it fairly and right, the first thing you need to address is healthcare. Second thing you need to address is us vets. The third thing you need to do, which probably should have been the first thing, is find a way to get a compromise for all this racism bullshit that's been going on and all this racial profiling and everything. And we want you to visit every police station and make sure that you are down with that. Or, my suggestion that I've always told everybody that, especially in my town, if Internal Affairs puts 3 cops in every station on every state in every city, the police will straighten the fuck up. Internal Affairs was created to create a force to police the police. In other words, that way even the police know that they're not above the law. Because even though they serve and protect, they still have to also be participants of respecting and protecting the law. Now, that got way off track. We're going back on Donald Trump now. So apparently this protest happened Saturday night. I think it's Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. This is Monday now, so it happened over the weekend. Let's just put it that way. And I guess the main reason I didn't get a awareness ticket because I went to go see Doctor Strange, and I was binge watching a lot of my shows, so I really didn't know too much about it. And you know, every time I turn on the news for like the last 6 months, if it's not Donald Trump, it's somebody from a black affiliated group in getting their lives taken, or somebody who is just black getting their lives taken, and then that affiliate group comes in and stomps things out, or burns stuff, or causes a fucking riot and everything. So you know, I'm just waiting for the first riot for when Donald Trump is actually serving us. You know, um, are we going to have to Negan this guy? I mean, what are we expecting? Or hell, is he gonna Negan us? Which is probably the question that I should have asked. Is Donald Trump going to Negan us? And you know, in America, we are blessed that we have certain freedoms. We are blessed that we have the freedom of choice to vote. We are blessed that we have a choice to go or stay. We are blessed that we are probably not welcomed in every country in the world, but the world doesn't belong to everyone if everyone doesn't accept everyone else. However, there are places that welcome Americans, you know, without problems in open arms, and there are places that would rather shoot us dead than let us step on their soil. As a soldier, I know this, and as a civilian, y'all should probably know this. And you know, a lot of people said that we're gonna move out when Donald Trump gets presidency, which is why a lot of people didn't go out and vote because they thought that there was no way in hell that this guy could win. You guys were wrong. Hell completely froze over last week. Completely. The devil popped up and started busting backflips all up and down the White House stage. All down every place that Donald Trump has stepped his foot down, the devil was there. Busting backflips, swinging ninja stars, and just doing everything, spiking the water, and just all out telling everybody, you know what? This is what you got. Booyah! Your asses are fucked now. So in that, you know, hey, he won. You know, and he won because most of the people who didn't think that he had a snowball's chance in hell of winning, which is why we have these protests, didn't come out and vote. So when you don't come out and vote, now you see what the fuck happens. It's just that simple. I'm not trying to be a dick about it. I did not vote for this bastard. I do not like Donald Trump. And I'm sorry for calling you a bastard, Mr. Trump. I'm pretty sure that your rich and wealthy family was married. And if they weren't married when you were conceived, they probably married somewhere down the line, which makes you not a bastard. If you go by dictionary terms. But, you know, we're all about to pay a heavy price. So you better deliver. Because we all know, we know you're not in the military. We know you don't have a damn clue about politics. Which makes you almost perfect for this job because a lot of people don't like politicians. But the thing about the country is, I'm sorry to say this, we need politicians, we need lawyers, we need doctors, we need the servicemen to be in the front of the political phase to run this country. to keep us safe. Now, mostly, and I'm gonna pull a Commander Shepard here, I don't like politicians. I don't give a fuck about them. I don't really hate them, being that I work for one technically. Who's a good guy, by the way, in case you're watching, boss man. But a lot of politicians have more secrets and lies on this country than anyone else. Politicians and servicemen. So I'm gonna put it to you live and correct. You know, when it comes down to it, politicians write the ink that we read. All right, servicemen, we fight the battles that you guys either know or don't know, or will find out about as soon as it hits main media. And a lot of things that happen in America have been some necessary evils. And I'm probably gonna like magically disappear for this, but to quote Men in Black, we are not allowed to let you civilians know just how close the bad guys can get, or how close the bad guys are at every second of the day. You know, because there's always something deep rooted within the politics that either we're going to discover or we're not going to discover one way or another. So in that, when you're looking at all these conspiracy theories about like aliens and ghosts and all this shit, and how in the hell did Donald Trump win the presidency? There you go. You guys didn't go out and vote. Now, I love my mom, and she's hollering up and down the same crap that Donald Trump was hollering up and down. In case he didn't win, he would think that the thing was rigged. Well, unless you rigged it, motherfucker, you won. So it's not rigged, clearly. It's rigged at the people who did not get off their ass and go vote. That's what it's rigged at. People did not get up, get off their ass, and go vote. Simple as that. Now, I will do a conspiracy thing on here, but it won't have nothing to do with Donald Trump. Alright? He might be mentioned, though. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Family number 2. This is 12 minutes and 15 seconds that you can't get back of your life. Kung Fu Havoc number 2, B, C, and U.